Willie Pep, Ray Robinson, Joe Frazier. His heart is this big, and the thing that did it for me, I remember the first Ali fight, and I backed him, and I remember all the kids in school were going for Ali, and there was just me on my own going for Frazier, and I was so chuffed that he won. Yeah. And but Frazier, because of his style, absolutely gutted when he lost to Foreman, and but the first and the third Ali fight, you know, even recently I've been watching it again, you know, the thriller in Manila, etc., and living through that again through watching the film, of all the background stuff, and knowing how Ali has ended up, you know, through his illness, etc., and what each fighter, and also from that, you know, I can actually empathise and feel something similar to that, because when when you have an adversary, I think you get a bond with that person. You know, I know that when I've boxed a person maybe 2 or 3 times, you know, you get a bond with that person, and there's something that connects, and you don't see them as an enemy. It's just mutual respect, you know. But for me, watching that, it actually went further than the boxing. There was a human aspect to that, and that's what really interests me, you know, and that's what drove Joe Frazier on another round, and he would have been world champ. History would have been rewritten again, but you know, and boxing did that, you know. And you look at the stories out there when people try to relate to something. You know, you look at the films that are out there, $1 Million Baby, you know, Xavier O'Toole, who wrote that. I met that guy down at the Peacock Gym, and I had a chat with him. I actually didn't know it was him, and we were discussing Prince Nazim against Barrera. And I didn't know who the guy was, but to me he was just a punter, you know, a fight fan. It's only a year or 2 later that I actually knew who it was, and I've been reading his books, and you know, Raging Bull, you know, the Rocky series. The first one was good, but you know, why is it, you know, boxing? You know, there's something maybe of a fighting spirit that people can empathise with. You know, it's something that they can relate to. Yeah. You know, struggle against. You know, perhaps I'm getting a bit heavy. Perhaps I'm getting a bit heavy here. You know, but you know, it's battling against something, and I think everybody at some point in their lives have battled against something and they've come good. Not getting beaten. I think for me, it was pleasing my mum and dad. I always liked to please my dad. I always try to make my dad happy in what I did. And quite a few times, you know, I brought trouble home, you know. I think it was just the nature of growing up, you know. And one example I can give, I'd read about friends from the local paper, the Hackney Gazette, for example. On one page there'd be the court reports, and we'd recognise names. Oh yeah, so oh he done that, he done that, she done that, and you go to the back, and inside would be the sports, and I'd be in there. I always felt that there was this sense of, you know, what I did made other people happy, or they were pleased to be connected to. Yeah. And I remember a long time ago, I was actually asked to be a subject of a film, a documentary, and they did all the filming around here. And here is on St Mary's Estate here in Hackney. And eventually it was shown by Thames Television on ITV, and there were so many people that watched it, and afterwards they said, "Oh, we saw you, and keep up the good work." And it was smiley faces, and I don't know. It just, for me, it was about I'm doing something worthy that kind of reflects something. It was about this little toad, me, growing up in East London, a boxer. Yeah, basically, that was it. It was a young lad growing up. Yeah, and what it does, and and I think they try to show a bit of a sort of seamier side of life, but which I was never into anyway. I had two hard-working parents. A family from a I'm one of 8. From a 2-bedroom flat in Hackney, and I just showed them a daily routine. Well, not a daily routine, a boxing routine. What I used to do, But I used to go from here and train all the way over at Kingston on Thames, which is a mission. And that's how much I wanted to succeed. I was willing to travel that far, where you've probably got one of the top clubs in the world, Repton, 10 minutes down the road.